Hello everyone, Ash here, and tonight I'm going to talk a little bit about my history with Microsoft, mainly the Xbox 360, and why I kind of have such mixed feelings on that console. It's not just with Halo. This is something there's been problems I've had with 1-800 format Xbox and some of the crap they've pulled with me in the past, which really pissed me off with them, but mainly with the 360 and stuff. First and foremost, the game you're looking at is Need for Speed Rivals. I got this on EA Access, and this game is a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying this one. So if you have an Xbox One, and I recommend trying EA Access. It's a good service, $5 a month. You get a good amount of games. It's a really fun, and this one is really fun. I'm really enjoying this one. So yeah. But anyways, my history with the Xbox, Microsoft, and the Xbox 360 mainly. Well, first and foremost, the original Xbox, I have nothing negative to say since I love the original Xbox. I think that's a great, great console. Particularly, I love the look of that console, and I love that fucking controller. Does everyone remember the original Xbox 360 controller? How big that thing was? The original Xbox controller. That thing was massive, and I loved it. I loved how big it was. It felt so good. It felt really like I loved the way it felt in my hands. It felt good in my hands. So, I love the original 360 and I love the original controller. So nothing negative with the original Xbox. I thought that was an amazing console. Hell, between it, the GameCube, and PS2, I thought the original Xbox was the best console of the sixth generation. Yeah, I thought it was the best one of the six. So, anyways, but the Xbox 360 came out in 2005. I waited until 2000. What was it again? Sorry. I got my Xbox 360 in Christmas of 2006. I got three games with it. I got Gears of War, which I love the shit out of that game. And yes, I'm looking forward to Gears of War Ultimate Edition. You bet your ass on that one. Gears of War, Saints Row, which was okay. I didn't care too much for it. 99 Nights, which you guys know I really did enjoy 99 Nights. That was a good game. Really good game. So those were the games I really enjoyed. Not enjoyed, those were the first three games I had. So I got those three games at first. Now, I didn't have Xbox Live at that time. Oh, I didn't even have an HD TV at that time. I still had one of those big old TVs, those big clunker type TVs I absolutely hate and can't stand because those things are a pain in the ass. But yeah, so I got the I didn't have Xbox Live in the beginning when I got it, but a few months later, I finally got Xbox Live. And my Xbox 360 came with a month membership to Xbox Live, so I used that, and I started, and I played Gears of War online. That was the game I was actually playing the most online, was Gears of War, and I played the living shit out of that game online. I'm not kidding, Gears of War, I played that game so much online. I loved Gears of War Online. The game was so much fun. The game was addicting. So that was the game I was playing online a lot, was Gears of War. So after that, we were playing Gears of War. Sorry. What happens next is that my friend eventually he gets Gears of War and he gets the 360 and gets Gears of War. And we're playing Gears of War until Halo 3 comes out. Which we're both looking forward to Halo 3 because that game is kind of the game we're really looking forward to playing. Now, I'd heard about the Red Ring of Death. I heard about it, and I heard people saying there's a problem with the Xbox 360 is the Red Ring of Death. A lot of the Xbox 360s are getting it. This is in large part because the hardware on the Xbox 360 was poorly made, the console itself was poorly designed, and I personally think the original Xbox 360 looks like a complete and total piece of shit. I can't stand the original look for the 360, but I'm like, oh, okay. Alright, so obviously it's got that problem. I'm thinking, maybe it won't happen with mine. Maybe I'll get lucky and the 360 won't ring on mine. Oh, this is the best part. Most people remember 2007, it being, a lot of people saying being one of the best years for gaming, and in general it was. You had Halo 3 come out, which was a good game. As much as I gave Halo 4, I did really like Halo 3, especially that multiplayer. This game I played the second most online multiplayer, Halo 3, no question. So yeah, Halo 3, Bioshock, and I played both those games. I played Bioshock and Halo 3. Played them, loved the living shit out of them, and they were so much fun to play. Those games were just a lot of fun to play, and I really enjoyed them. So we had games I hadn't played yet. during 2007 that were coming out was Assassin's Creed, which looked fun, Mass Effect, which I fell in love with that game when I did finally get a chance to play it, and what was the last one? Call of Duty Modern Warfare. So those are games I hadn't had a chance to play yet. I didn't have the money for them, and in general, I didn't really have the money, and so they were just. I was gonna wait for Christmas to get them because says fuck it, I'll just wait for Christmas and I'll get those games. Now, it's a couple days before Christmas, and me and my friends go see the movie I Am Legend, and yes, this is. I remember when my Xbox 360 Red ringed, and we saw I Am Legend. We get back to my house, and my friend, she's playing on the 360, and my 360 Red rings right there. I'm not kidding, it Red ringed that night. And I'm like, damn it, and I'm not happy about it, but I'm like, okay, you know, it sucks, but I'll call Microsoft, and so I call up Microsoft and I say, I tell them what happened. They're like, oh, okay, well, we'll send you a box and you can go ahead and ship it to us and you'll be all set. I'm like, okay, cool. So I wait a few days. The box hasn't come yet. So I'm going, there's no box. What's going on here? So after a few days, I call up Microsoft and I say, yeah, my box hasn't come yet. Where is it? And they tell me, oh, we're sorry, your order froze. Like, what do you mean my order froze? It froze, there was a mistake. We have to fix it. So I'm like, okay, well, we need you to speak to our manager about this. He's going to take care of you on this, so you need to talk to him. So I'm like, okay, when do I talk to him? And he's like, well, he's, we schedule you, we'll have you scheduled for tomorrow around 2 o'clock. So I'm like, okay, cool, I'll talk to him then and get this fixed. 2 o'clock. Now keep in mind, he's supposed to call me. I'm not supposed to call him. He's supposed to call me. 2 o'clock comes by, no call. He said to wait the whole day. He doesn't call. So I call the next day and ask him what the hell's going on. And they say, oh, he got caught up in things. So yeah, he's gonna call you. He's gonna call you tomorrow around 3 o'clock. I'm a little annoyed at this point. But I'm like, okay, fine. He'll call me at 3. So I wait till 3. He doesn't call. Wait for our phone call the next day, and yes, I'm still doing shit, but I'm just at my phone on, and he doesn't call, so I'm like, okay. The very next day, I'm not happy. And I call them up, and they say, oh, he got busy again. He's going to call you, and I'm not kidding when they said this. They said, he's going to call you at 5 a.m. in the morning, New Year's Day. 5 a.m. in the morning, New Year's Day. They said that, not me. I'm thinking like, what? He's gonna call me that early? I'm like, alright, fine. So I say, fuck it. There's no way in hell I'm gonna be able to answer him if I'm sleeping. So I say, fuck it. I'm just gonna go to bed. I'm just gonna stay up late till 5, and when he calls, I'll answer the phone and I'll get this fixed. I wait. I'm up till 5 in the fucking morning waiting for this asshole to call. It's about 6 o'clock in the morning, and he still hasn't called. So I'm just like, not happy, pissed off, and I go to bed. I wake up the next day, and later that night, I finally get a hold of him. Finally get a hold of this guy, and I tell him what's happened. I'm saying, like, dude, you gotta give me something for this shit. This is bullshit. I've had to wait. You said you called. You haven't called. I have been constantly waiting every single day for you to fucking call. You haven't called me. You need to give me something for this. You gotta do something for me on this one. And he's like, well, there's not much we can really do. I'm like, can you send me something? Send me a controller at least, maybe give me a brand new controller for what I've gone through. He's like, no, we can't do that. And he's kind of annoyed, and she's all annoyed. He has a really nasty attitude at me. I go, well, what do you mean you can't do that? You've said you've called and you haven't called. I waited till 5 in the morning New Year's Day because you didn't call. Well, we can't do that. And he's giving me a really bad attitude. I'm going, Jesus Christ. He's giving me this really bad attitude. So I'm like, okay, this asshole wants to play this shit, fine. So I literally tell him, you know what? I don't want the box anymore. You can cancel the order. And he's got this look like, what? He's like, cancel it, fine. All annoyed, all pissed off. So I'm like, yeah, whatever. So I'm just like, fuck it. not gonna bother. So I get rid of my Xbox 360. And those days, GameStop was taking broken 360s. So I'm like, okay. So I get my So they took my broken 360, my Red Ring 360, and I got a Wii. I'm like you, I got a Wii. I was like, fuck it, I'll just get a Wii instead. That was when Wii's were still really hard to find. Like, they were almost impossible to get your hands on one. So I got a Wii, and the Wii was fine for the most part. I'll say this about Nintendo, their consoles don't break down on you. They actually are functional. They actually work. That's one thing with Nintendo I can say that I've always had consoles with them is their consoles always work. So I got the Wii. So a few years go by, and all my friends have 360. They're all enjoying it, and they eventually convince me, say, Sean, you know, it's a pass. Give Microsoft a second chance, man. I'm like, okay, fine. So I give Microsoft a second chance. And I buy the Xbox 360 Elite. I finally get the Elite, since everyone's been saying that's the best console to get, and I'm like, okay, I'll get the Elite. So I get the Elite, and after I get the Elite, and then I get the Elite, which is a cool, I have to admit, even though I don't like the design of the original 360, the Elite looks really cool. I'll say that, but E3 2010 comes, and Microsoft officially announces its Xbox 360 Slim. Yeah, they announced their 360 Slim. And they say it's going to be launching later that week, so I'm like, god damn it. Because the Slim's a gorgeous console. I love the look of the Xbox 360 Slim. Definitely better than the original Xbox 360. I think the Slim looks 100 times better. And they said there's no more red rings, so I'm just like, okay, you know what? I'll get the Slim. So the day of its launch, I get rid of my old 360 and I go pick up the Xbox 360 Slim. The Elite got the Slim, and then I get home, and for the first few days, it's actually going pretty good. The Slim's working really well, no problems, and I'm just enjoying it, having a good time playing with the Xbox 360 Slim. It's a good console all around. I'm really enjoying it. About a week later, there's a problem with the Xbox 360 Slim's controller. I'm not kidding. The controller was fucking up now. What happened was the right analog, it broke. The right analog was broken. Because eventually your guy would start to turn, and he would do it every time you did not use the right analog, he'd just start turning, going around in circles. I'm not kidding, this happened every time. It was like, what the hell is going on? The controller was busted. I call up Xbox and tell them that my controller is busted. Tell them that. And they basically say, oh, the controller's busted? I'm like, yeah, there's something wrong with it. And the guy I talked to, was a really cool guy. I mean, he handled it really well. He said, oh, okay, I hate when that happens too. We'll send you a new Xbox 360 controller. It'll take a couple of days, but we'll send you one. I'm like, okay, cool, thank you. And so I'm thinking, okay, I'll get a new controller to replace this one. That'll work great. And I wait a few days. No controller. Wait a few more days. No controller. I call up Xbox and ask them whether my controller is. And they say, oh, he made a mistake. We don't give you a new controller. We don't do that for broken controllers. So I'm like, well, what do you do then? Well, you have to send it to us. I'm like, okay, can you guys send me a shipping receipt? A receipt where I can send it to you guys? Oh, no, we don't do that. You have to write it down. I'm going, what? Yeah, you have to write it down. I'm like, what do you mean I have to write it down? Can't you just send me can't you even just email me one or do something? Oh, we can't do that. We're not supposed to. I'm like, why in the hell not? We just can't. And then the bullshit. The other fucking bullshit, they had the nerve to ask me, because their product was broken, but they had the nerve to ask me this. And you also have to pay for the shipping and handling. I'm like, what? What do you mean I have to pay for the shipping and handling? Like, yeah, you have to pay for it. And that set me off. It's like, you're fucking kidding me. You're a broken piece of shit controller. It's your controller that broke. I did nothing wrong with it. It broke. It was brand new and it broke. And you want me to pay for the shipping and handling. When you don't charge for your fucking 360 consoles when they red ring. But you want me to pay for the shipping and handling? And I was even talking to their supervisor about it. He's like, oh, I'm the highest one you can talk to about it. And I said, you know what, fuck you. I'm not gonna bother wasting my time and money with this shit. So basically, I got rid of the Xbox 360 Slim. I got rid of it, and I just said, fuck you to Microsoft. At this point, I was done with Microsoft. I was pissed with them, fed up with their bullshit, and oh wow. The thing I can say with Nintendo and Sony, their hardware is definitely bad, especially Sony. With the PlayStation 3, Sony came through with that console and did an amazing job with the PS3 as far as I'm concerned. And that's why I always kind of get my more favoritism to Sony over Microsoft. But I will say this: the Xbox One, it is a good console. I haven't had any problems yet. There's been no hardware problems of any kind with this, so I'm enjoying it. So yeah. Anyways, that's some of my history with the Xbox. And eventually I'll talk about my history with PlayStation. It's definitely a lot more positive, but there's a little negative with the PlayStation too. Anyways, this is Ash. Thanks so long. I'm out. Good night.